Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the Lord Doctor channel, and today we're going to be reviewing the latest chapter of JJK Kaisen, which is chapter 232. So let's get into it. Now, the first panel, Sakuna and Gojo are traversing the cityscape, and Sakuna is apparently trying to get away from Gojo as Gojo pressures him. Now we see that the wheel on top of Sakuna's head, it actually makes its second turn, and according to Kusakabe, 2 more spins until it will finally adapt to Gojo's infinity. And everybody is shouting for him to hurry up and finish the fight as soon as possible, because if that wheel undergoes 1 more spin, or 3 spins in total, Maharaga will be completely immune to Gojo's infinity, and that will be that will be a fight for ages, because as we all know before, Gojo could have one-shot Maharaga, but once it has adapted to infinity, it will have a much easier time actually combating Gojo, because not only would it adapt to the neutral infinity or the neutral limitless, it will also develop resistance against red, blue, etc. So he does not want that to happen. So Gojo uses a blue to actually destroy the infinity, and I love this aspect of this fight. Now, in things like Dragon Ball or whatever have you, they don't really use the environment as much, but in this fight, or in JJK overall, they use the environment to a large degree, and I really love how they're hiding behind pillars, hiding behind this, or using this as a distraction. I just love it. So as you can see here, Gojo uses blue to kind of destroy the rubble towards Sakuna's direction. Sakuna flips over and he begins to press Gojo, but Gojo uses a new version of blue where he makes how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 orbs of blue, and what he's doing is he is tracking all of them on Sakuna's position. But naturally, Sakuna, not being a slouch, he moves out of the way. But as you can see here, he is getting cornered by all of them. He jumps on the air and he's getting cornered by all of them, and Gojo comes in from behind it, from this pillar or whatever, and he goes in, or Sakuna goes in for a kick. Gojo grabs it, Gojo goes in for an elbow, Sakuna blocks it with his arm, and here we see Gojo actually landing a kick on Sakuna. And if you look at Sakuna right here, this kick did a lot of damage. It did a lot of damage to the brother, blood and everything, but the wheel goes on its 3rd spin, meaning that there is 1 more left. And here we see that Yuji asks, okay, what are the specific conditions for Maharaga's adaptation? Is it a case where it gets hit, takes some time to actually process it, then it adapts? Or is it a case where it has to get hit over again, and then it will adapt through the experience? And to that, Hajime just said, it really does not matter at the end of the day. Either one of them is possible. Now, Gojo and Sakuna, or rather, Sakuna is thrown into the building with the crows following behind them, and I must say, these are the type of crows that you want on the Mori show, because these niggas are keeping up with all of the action. These Sakuna and Gojo are moving at high speeds, and these crows are keeping up with them. Yeah? Give them a Mori application, honestly. Now Gojo says, now I'll give him hell. I thoroughly convinced him that all I use is blue. With this timing, he won't be able to react. And what Gojo is doing here, if you've ever played fighting game, he's basically conditioning his opponent. For condition, it is when you make your opponent think that you are going to do a different action. You make them get used to you doing a certain action, and then you are able to switch it up. For example, if I'm continuously hitting you in the face, eventually you will come to predict me hitting you in the face. But now that you are predicting that, I can throw an unpredictable punch and hit you in the liver or whatever have you. So that's what he did with the curse technique reversal red. Now, this is very interesting. In order to minimize the damage that he would take from the red, Sakuna uses domain amplification. But what this also does is it turns the wheel on his head black, and this shows us that the adaptation process is halted because, as you know, you can't use curse techniques while you are using domain amplification. Now, the red lands, however, it does the domain amplification, it does minimize the damage, but as you can see here, Sakuna is still got beat up by it a little bit. And what this shows to me, at the start of the fight, when Sakuna quote unquote tanked that hollow purple, he did not tank shit. This is the second time we are seeing a curse technique reversal red damaging this man, and it's worse in this case because he has domain amplification taking the brunt of the damage, or nullifying a brunt of the damage. That means that there is no way in hell Sakuna tanked that 200 plus maximum output, whatever have you, hollow purple. He must have slipped into the shadow, him and your mommy or that ice girl or whatever. He did not tank that thing head on. Now, as Sakuna says, as expected, even if amplification can neutralize the low output of his neutral limitless, it can't fully neutralize the strengthened blue or reversed red. Now, you can see that Higuruma, he's freaking out at this point. He said he misread it. At this rate, it'll adapt. Now, Gojo tries to get some distance away from Sakuna, and here we go. Here comes this nigga Sakuna coming in with such sloppiness. Lost your cool after your head, sorry about that in the background. Lost your cool after your hand was red. And Gojo replies with, you know, that red just now still hasn't exploded. And Sakuna is surprised to see that, well, not see, that the red circled around the building to catch Sakuna off guard, hitting him in the back and propelling him forward to Gojo. Gojo rushes forward and he is winding up this one, and he finally lands a black flash. People, making I tell you, oh, I was elated, I was glad that this nigga finally landed a black flash. It has been so long since we have seen this technique used, and just so you know, this is the absolute pinnacle of black flash, because as Kusakabe said in the last chapter, I think, when Gojo hits you normally, it's not a normal punch, it's basically a critical hit. Now imagine that with a black flash on top of it. Nobody is surviving that. Well, nobody except for Sakuna. But as we can see in the next chapter, Sakuna is knocked out. He is knocked out cold. And just look at everyone's reactions. Alright? Kari surprised, Hajime's surprised, everybody's surprised, especially yo, this man, you'd get your jaw off the floor, I swear to God. So yeah, Sakuna is knocked out and the wheel finally falls from his head. Now, I'm not sure what happened here, but it seems that before he was knocked out, or even before that, I imagine that Sakuna, being a fighting genius, before he actually got hit, he said, alright, I'm gonna summon Maharaga. So in my opinion, this fully confirms that Sakuna could not have beaten Gojo in his Heian era form, or in 15 in Yuji's body. He needed the 10 shadows in order to stand a chance against this man Gojo, which definitively proves that base Sakuna versus base Gojo or whatever have you, Gojo is the strongest. Now, once again, the wheel drops on the floor and it begins to spin, and we see that the shadows appear from the wheel, and from the shadows arises Maharaga, the General Maharaga, the person that will say, or the curse technique or whatever, the Shikigami that will save Sakuna over and over again. Now, Maharaga appears from out of the shadow and he cuts through Gojo's limitless, just straight cut through. And it's not a deep cut, it's not anything deep. I don't think it's not anything Gojo can heal from. but this just shows that the limitless is no longer a factor, or the neutral limitless at least is no longer a factor in his fight with Maharaga, and this will be a much closer match than the last one where Gojo said, okay, I'm gonna one shot this thing. Alright, so if I was to rate this chapter, for me personally, I'll go 10 out of 10. Honest to God, these past couple chapters have been fantastic, and this author, Gege Akutami, he is really good at writing and, you know, building to suspense, and I think this is honestly a very good fight so far, and it really is pushing the boundaries of the power system. But not only that, it really shows you that for Jujutsu Sorcery, it really is a limit on your limitation, or your creativity as a sorcerer. Alright, overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this chapter. If you like this content, please subscribe for more. I want to do a bit more consistent uploads, whether it be Burst of Power or JJK or another manga that I'm interested in. But for now, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video if you so like to do so, and please be aware that we actually have a Discord now, so if you want to discuss JJK content, get some JJK leaks, or if you want to discuss Burst of Power games, or whatever have you, go ahead and join the Discord. The link will be provided in the description below. But with that said, this is the Lord Doctor, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.